ahead of target. And I'd also like to suggest that we're also performing well ahead of a lot of the other authorities in North Yorkshire, which is obviously great to see. So we're doing a lot more benchmarking, we're doing a lot more work looking at sort of trends and comparison data we've got with other authorities. And it is great to see that some areas we're performing sort of well ahead of neighbouring authorities. Processing plan applications and income generated from searches and street naming are all performing well. That's largely due to the development we've had through Yorkshire Housing, and that's obviously generated some benefit for us over what the target was. Sickness levels for quarter one are also low. Should be also pointed out these are well ahead of the industry average, which are around about 1.45 days based on the most recent results published by the Health and Safety Executive, which is basically about 3% of the lost time. Level of complaints is also low, and again we're sort of on par with best performing local district, and the trends are also in line with what we're seeing now, the exception calendar, which is sort of up the trend a little bit. So there is a lot of positive news within the report. There are areas that we sort of identify as being out of target. There's three that really stick out, and they are prevention of homelessness, bringing empty homes back into use, and standard searches completed within 5 working days. In terms of the empty homes being brought back into use, it's quite a challenging indicator that we've got there. The reason for that is it doesn't reflect the actual work that goes into bringing an empty home back into use. So a lot of the work that's done on the ground is much more sort of, I want to say sort of softly, in terms of trying to get those properties back into use from landlords. So we are doing a little bit of work trying to create that indicator so it better reflects the work of the team rather than the sort of big financial elements we usually look at when we get properties back into use. So we'll probably find a better update on that one next time in the report. In all three of those cases, there are plans in place to address the performance. In most instances, it's due to staffing and resource issues. So what we find is we don't necessarily have sort of enough people doing the work. We've had a turnover of staff and waiting to get staff trained so they can actually start doing the work themselves. So that's something to just be aware of. Is we know that there's capacity issues we've had to deal with in both prevention of homelessness and the standard searches. So that's sort of the things I'd like to identify as sort of the high level priorities for the high level things to share. But I'd be more than happy to answer questions if people have got.
Thank you, Richard. That's great. I like the slightly different format of this report than what we've had before, because I'm doing comparisons with other authorities within North Yorkshire is very helpful, I think, and actually does very much illustrate how well Ryedale is doing in comparison to some of the other authorities, and as we all know, in very difficult circumstances. So I think it is a huge credit to our staff that they are working incredibly hard and are producing really good results in the pressures that they have through local government reorganisation. So I think that's to everybody's credit. And I'm also pleased to see, as we always have in this report, the fact that where there are areas of improvement, the information about what we're doing is in there, and that's extremely helpful as well to members. Questions? Councillor Burr.
Yeah, this is a really, really good part, and there's really not many indicators that are actually showing that we need to improve concrete staff plan. On page 42, the indicator is red, and it talks about prevention of homelessness. And we've highlighted that that's because there actually probably is very, very large caseload. And what's concerning me about this is that, bear in mind the worrying circumstances that we are in at the moment, and people are really struggling in every which way we turn. What worries me is that probably this particular area, the council will become busier and busier. And if you're identifying now that there's a heavy caseload, would it be prudent to actually plan for this to become more onerous, and then maybe we could take on staff so that if people do become homeless or they lose their homes or whatever, we are ready for this. It's just to really flag that up, because I think that us as members should be supporting these people and supporting you if you haven't got, you know, plans and people in place.
Thank you very much for that, Councillor. I completely agree. I think it's now that is a concern for us. Obviously, we've improved the staffing in there. We're hoping to see some improvements to that. I think it's difficult for us to actually forecast sort of what's going to happen moving forward. So it's difficult to have the capacity built in and then those sort of pressure on the work to do. But it's certainly something that I think will sort of feedback or sort of speak to the executive staff. Some opportunities to do that.
Just please come back. You're saying it's difficult to forecast. I don't think you need to forecast. I think you know, I think we all know in this room that it's going to become quite horrendous. I think that it's far better to develop races than to say let's wait until it happens. So I just need to make sure that, you know, we are looking at the capacity now. We are thinking about it now. We know that it's going to happen. So why not be prepared rather than just say, well, let's deal with it if it does happen.
Okay, I'll come back, Councillor Burns, if that's okay. I think, yeah, I have to say, I agree with you. As Chair of the Committee, I will take that away for further discussion because I think you're absolutely right. Seeing the indicators that we're seeing at the moment in terms of the cost of living crisis, it isn't going to get better for quite a long time. Yeah, I think that's a sensible suggestion, so I will take that away as well. Thank you. And then Philip was curiously writing notes at that point as well. So thank you. Now, any other questions? Councillor Clark.
Just on that same one, we've got a target of 39 and an actual of 32. Is that the number of cases which we have solved in this time? And therefore, how many cases have we got which are in this backlog and how many have we solved?
Yeah, so my understanding is it's the number of households that have been supported. So it's the number that we've currently got on the books at that time.
Right.
Which from my sort of memory of this policy, that is quite an increase from what we've had in the past. We've had very few cases of homeless in the past, and this is done at markedly, which again I think reflects what Councillor Byrne was saying. Other questions? Okay, thank you. Well, I think in that case I will just briefly repeat what I said earlier. Thank you very much for the report, Richard. I think it does illustrate how hard people are working in this authority, that we have got so few of those ones that we need further work on. Yeah, particularly in the current climate that we're working in, I think it's relevant to all our officers that this report comes out to us and is so positive. So thank you to everybody for all the continued hard work. Thank you for the report, Richard. So it's basically the report is just for noting. So I don't think we need to vote on that unless you particularly want us to. Yeah, I don't think it is for noting in general this one, so I don't need to vote on that. So, thank you. Thank you very much, Richard. So moving swiftly on to item to see committee level decisions that are required under the Constitution. So moving on to item 10, these are decisions that have been made under urgency powers, and they are on the first one is the request to with instant rapid vehicle charging points in our car parks, and that's on pages 61 to 66. The second one is the appointment of the senior information risk owner, which is on pages 67 and 70. And then we also had a further one that was missed off the agenda when it was issued, and that is the works required to repair the roofs of the properties we have at Westgate Car in Pickering. So all of those decisions have been taken under urgency powers. So they are basically for the committee to vote this evening. Okay. sorry, Councillor Andrews, did you want to?
Sorry.
Sorry, it's okay. Fine, thank you. So, this is gone through remarkably quickly this evening. I have no urgent business, item 12. So, thank you very much, all of you, for your attendance this evening. Councillor Duncan?
Just one thing thinking ahead, Chairman, is around obviously the referrals from this committee, what would usually make up the bulk of the next full council, which is scheduled for October the 20th. Clearly, there's only, I think, 2 things which have referred to that meeting on the 20th, both of which are really sort of basic procedural things. I'm just thinking the agenda for the 20th then is probably going to be, at this moment, I perceive there might be motions and things, but only 2 items on there. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, yes, at this point, because there will be motions come forward. I'm not aware of them yet, but yes, then I mean there may be other items that come forward before the 20th, and that meeting is in the diary, so that people proceed.
So we'll proceed with that 20th. Well, that's the
That's my understanding. Can you confirm that, Philip?
Yes, please.
Yes, we will. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much for your attendance this evening.
It was a bit.
It must be, yes, that is very quick, I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much.